Hi everyone, how's it going? What I have for you today is a seated floor sequence. So the entire time we are going to be down on the ground, right? Taking it a little slower, a little deeper, a little more quiet. So what you're going to need are 2 blocks and 2 blankets. If you don't have these things, I would highly recommend that you find some other things around your house to replicate these. You could also use beach towels, you can use bedding, you can use pillows, throw pillows, bed pillows. As far as blocks go, we won't be needing them for so much of like stability and balance, but more just height and support. So you could also use really nicely folded up sweaters, hoodies, anything that makes this general shape. So when you have everything all together and within arm's reach on your mat. Oh, and one more thing, do have a practice space that's a little bigger than normal, right? So something that expands out wider than your mat. So this way you can just allow yourself to take up as much space as needed and have a more restful practice. So move everything off to the side except for one of your blankets. Okay. And find a shape that looks like about this length, right? So maybe about a 1/2 inch in thickness and something that's just a little longer than your torso. If you have fringes on your blanket, face those up towards the frontage of your mat so they're out of the way of any of your body parts, and then come down and make your way onto your back. So when you arrive on your back, have your knees bent, feet on the floor. Take one hand on your belly and then one hand over your chest. Close your eyes. Use these first couple of moments to just allow everything to sink in and settle and energetically arrive into your practice. Feel your breath move your skin. Bring your attention onto your belly. Feel the rise and fall with the inhale and exhale. And we're going to make this breath a little bit deeper so that we also start to feel the chest rise and fall. So breathe in deep into the navel cavity. Expand through the chest up towards the shoulders. And then as you exhale, right, breathe everything out. Let it come out of the chest, out of the belly. Inhale from the belly, up towards the shoulders. Exhale from the chest, then from the belly. Continue to breathe like this, making each inhale and exhale slightly smoother. Let your breath take over, and then just check in with other parts of your body. See where else you can soften. See where else you can relax. start to draw your attention a little more outward, back into your environment. Stay very much in this mood that you've created. Just turn this awareness on, that now we're going to start moving in our practice. So you can keep your eyes closed, or you can open them. We'll take the right knee in towards the chest. And then just bring your arms down by your sides. And we're going to start just by making circles, really slow circles of the leg moving away from the midline. So we're playing with some internal and external rotation. So as you take the leg out away from the body, right, find length in the inner thigh, out through the knee. And then as you bring it in towards the body, roll the bone back in to find more of a neutral position. I said internal and external rotation. We're actually just playing with external and more of a neutral position. Right. And then reverse the motion. Take the leg back in towards the body now. And make these movements your own, right? So if you need to make them bigger, extend the leg, right? Whatever you got to do to make this more comfortable. And then take one more. And bring the leg back to center, plant the foot. So that left and right, find evenness. Draw the left leg in. Right, take it out wide, find that external rotation. And then as you bring it back in, bring the leg back to neutral. One more, and then we'll switch the direction. So now start to bring the leg towards the midline. It's amazing how much information that you can get from both sides of the body and how different they can be. All right, and then make this your last. Plant the foot on the floor. Again, find evenness between right and left sides. Roll onto your side. And then press yourself up. Go slow, take your time, right? And then once you're upright, take a moment to integrate back into being upright. Go ahead and open up your eyes. All right. So let's move into some seated poses, shall we? All right, so the blanket that you just had, we're gonna fold it and we're gonna use this to support our seat. And so I want you to find a fold, one that either looks like this, whoops, right? Or one from the shape, you're gonna fold in half, that looks like this. Right. The difference between the two is that there's just more real estate to work with, right? This shape is going to cover more of the body, more of the seat, give you more support. This shape ideally would be for a more smaller bodied person, right? Where you're still going to use the corner, right, to sit, but it's going to cover less real estate. So I'm going to go with this kind of blanket shape today, just because I want a little more cushion. All right, grab your blocks, have them close by, and you decide if you need one blanket or two blankets to sit up on. Right, 2 blankets obviously is going to give you more height, more support, and keep the pelvis more neutral. All right, so sit on that corner edge, and then take the legs wider than hip distance. And flex the feet, reach the toes, the pinky toes towards the face. And take the hands down by your sides. Lift up evenly through the front, back, and sides of the trunk. Just take a moment to be here. All right, take your hands onto the back of the right knee, right, and fold the leg. So I want you to come more onto the shin, into the top of the foot. Right, and the heel can come in pretty close towards the pelvis. Right, now take your hands, and you'll have to adjust the hips to, again, just be more neutral in the pelvis. So when I say neutral in the pelvis, think of like the pelvic bowl holding water, and that water is not spilling forward or backward, and that it's just being held. All right, with this bent leg, there's a slight action of pressing back, right? Similar to tree. Right, so with this leg pressing back, we're going to keep this leg exactly where it is, long and strong. All right, have a block close by. Right, I want you to take your arms out wide, right? Reach your waist forward, just like you would in triangle pose, right? And then bring your hand to the inner edge of the leg, wherever your range of motion takes you, right? You may even be able to take it to the foot, right? If that's the case, that's going to be your connection point, right? If you need a block, those are here too, right? But just establish some point of connection where you can keep the trunk uplifted, this left side coming more forward, right? So you don't compromise this relationship between the trunk and the leg. So after you found that point of connection, right, I want you to actively press the hand into that object, right, and to bring this side of the trunk, the left side of the trunk, a bit more forward. All right, so we have this bent leg slightly moving back in space. Right, we're pressing into the leg. And then take that right arm, reach it up over the head, and allow yourself to bend to the side. Maybe you can slide down a little deeper on the leg, but again, we want to keep the whole left side of the trunk lifted and coming forward. If you feel too unstable with the top arm lifted, you're more than welcome to keep it down on the folded leg. Find an even rhythm of breath. Pull yourself back up to center. And take a moment to pause, again, being upright. Unfold the leg. And then and pause, right? Find evenness here. Now, if at any point that being here with the straight legs is too uncomfortable, I am going to suggest either taking the seat up higher, or you can also place a blanket or some kind of support under the leg to support it in between the floor. But you do want the hips slightly more elevated than the legs themselves. All right, go ahead and take the hands into the back of the left knee, right? Fold the leg, bring the shin and the top of the foot onto the floor, right? Readjust your seats to find evenness. If you had that block on this side or any other modification, then make it available in case you need it here. Take the arms out wide, right? Reach long through the waist towards the foot, right? Make that point of connection with the leg, the foot, the block, right? Press into that connection. Lift through the right side of the chest, and then sweep the left arm up and over. So go back to your legs, right? The left leg presses slightly back, extend through the right leg, repress through the connection of the arm into the leg, lift the side of the chest, and then allow yourself to be in this side bend. Find a soft, natural rhythm of breath. Pull yourself up to center. Adjust being upright. Unfold the leg. And then grab onto the back of both knees. Bring the feet in. Now I'm going to give you the option, or we're going to do this in two parts. First, we're going to keep the legs out wider, right? This would be Tadasana, so the legs are more in a diamond shape. Go ahead and place your support, your blocks, blankets under your knees, right? Again, just to fill in that gap between the floor and, the floor and your legs, right? But if you easily can just go down, right? If your legs easily just fall down to the ground, maybe just use a blanket, right? Just a little support to just elevate the legs slightly. Right, so maybe something, not maybe, but something like a blanket where it's thinner would probably be better in that case. Take the hands onto the ankles, right? Elongate through the trunk. And then start to hinge forward. Any sensations that start to arise, any tension, tightness, gripping, right? Just move more into the breath. Just focus on a deeper rhythm of breathing, right? To help calm the body, help calm the mind. unfold. All right, sit yourself back up. Take your time. Right. Bring the legs in a bit closer, right, so that the heels come closer to the pelvis. And then again, just press down through your hands to situate the pelvis and walk the body a little closer to the feet. Right. Line yourself up with support under the knees again. Lift up tall through the trunk and then fold forward. Sit yourself up. Go slow. Take your hands to the edges of the legs. Bring the legs together, feet on the floor. And then just take a moment to sit back upright. Right, take the hands around the shins, right, and have a slight press into the legs, right, so you lift the trunk up a little taller. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them. And just move everything off to the side. Okay, you're going to come off of your blankets. All right. And grab one of your blankets, right? Find a more narrow rectangular shape. And then just place it towards the bottom edge of your mat. If you have fringes, move it away from the body. And then your other blanket, right, can be this thicker rectangle. Just place that off to the side for now. All right, take your hands onto the floor. We're gonna make our way down onto our back. All right, so this blanket is gonna rest under the thighs and the knees. And then this other blanket you're going to place on top of your pelvis. Take your arms down by your sides. Allow everything to relax and turn out. Check in with the chest. Make sure that feels uplifted, broad. Bring your attention to the crown of your head. And then from the hairline down to the jaw, allow everything to soften. Allow the eyes to recede in their sockets. And release the tongue to the base of the mouth. Allow your chest and shoulders to relax. Your belly to relax, your hips to relax. Allow your fingers, your toes to soften. Turn your attention onto your breath. Take a deep breath in, followed by an even deep breath out. So match the length of your inhales with the exhales. Take the breath in and out. If you can stay here in Shavasana, then by all means, please do. But if you have to come up with me, roll onto your side and use your arm as a pillow. And pause for a round of breath. Use your hand to press yourself up and return to a seat. In your seat, place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Acknowledge this connection as a completion of your practice. And then open up your eyes. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. If you have any comments, questions, or feedback, I would love to hear from you. So enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you again.